It's time for On Point Live, brought to you by the greatest cheese in the United States, Harmony Cheese. Check it out at harmonycheese.com. I'm Michael Horn, but the stars of our show are ready to go. These guys, legends in football. We got number 15, Vince Ferragamo, played in Super Bowl 14, one of the all-time greats. Also with the Golden Bears and the Nebraska Cornhuskers, the LA Rams quarterback, Vince Ferragamo. Welcome to the show, Vince.
Thank you, Michael. Yes, it's good to be here. I'm kind of worn out after these games on Sunday, but happy to be talking about them.
And then a guy we call the Energizer Bunny, who today has adorned himself with his Hall of Fame. Yes, the Hall of Famer, number 78, offensive lineman for 20 seasons with the Los Angeles Rams, the one and only Energizer Bunny, Jackie Slater.
Hey, Mike. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. I love you guys.
Yeah, man, I do have a new tie on. I kind of like this tie, too.
You get that at the Hall of Fame?
Got it back in Canton this year, and it kind of matches this.
Looks good, Jackie.
It does. It really does.
Matches your suit.
It does. I was really impressed with my wife picking that out for me.
Yeah.
We do a podcast, and we also do a radio show. So those of you listening on the radio, we invite you to subscribe to On Point Live, our podcast on the YouTube channel. Just go to the YouTube channel and search On Point Live. Subscribe to it to let you know when each episode comes up, and you can see how dazzling these gentlemen are. I'm in my high school graduation outfit, so hope you'll enjoy it. You go to our website, by the way, is onpointlive.net. Our email is onpoint@crntalk.com. Anything you want to ask us, onpoint@crntalk.com. And, of course, our sponsor, harmonycheese.com. You guys have a little cheese this week, did you?
Always have the cheese.
A little cheese every week.
You can't have any pasta without cheese, Michael.
No, you got to have the good cheese. Parmesan.
I don't know if I agree with that statement, but you definitely got to have yourself some cheese.
Yeah,
you got to have it.
We got
a lot to run down this week,
especially now that we have a full supply coming in.
That's right.
On a regular basis.
Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Absolutely. Best in the world. Best in the world.
Make this out of Green Bay. That's got the best cows in the world, all natural. And all handmade is wonderful stuff. Check it out. We're not kidding. HarmonyCheese.com, HARMONY cheese.com. Even Corey Marino, our producer, does it. That's why he's 21-6, and we're only 1-7. I don't know. Our picks are off. We'll talk about that later in the show. Stand by. We're going to check out what happened in the NFL last week. I think there were some block kicks and a whole lot more. We'll get these guys to comment on it. So settle back. Grab yourself a Coke or maybe a beer. It's On Point Live. We continue right here on CRN Talk. Well, welcome back to On Point Live with Vince Ferragamo and Jackie Slater. Vince, let's kick it off with you and take a look at the home game. You guys both played for the Rams, and the Eagles had their way with them this week, but it was kind of an interesting game. What do you think?
Well, that was a wild game, to say the least, Mike. I think it just kind of goes to show you, Jackie, that you have to play three phases of the game: offense, defense, and special teams. And it boiled down to special teams play at the end of the game. But it's very unusual for the Rams to jump out to a huge lead, 19-point lead, 3-score deficit, and to come back and lose the game in the second half. And that's unlike a Sean McVay team. But I believe the Rams showed signs of the running game in the first half. Jackie, they were running 5-6 yards a crack.
They were doing a great job running the ball.
I mean, Williams was running it. Corum was running it.
Mixed
it
up
didn't
real
matter
well,
what was
too.
happening. And they had a well-balanced offense.
Very well-balanced.
And it just slipped away the second half. I think the Eagles made an adjustment at halftime, and that was the difference.
Yeah, that too, Vince. But also, you hear people talk all the time, especially the good coaches, starting with Bill Belichick. You win football games with offense, defense, and special teams. Now, the average person that listens and hears that, when you think about special teams, you're thinking about people punting the football, kicking it off, returning kickoffs, returning punts, blocking punts. You don't think about the blocking that goes into blocking for field goals and PATs. You just assume that you put all the offensive linemen there and they're going to sit there and keep them out while you go through this routine process of a kicker trying to kick a 30, 40, 50-yard field goal. But that's not reality. To me, Vince, if I had been the special teams coach, I would have wondered just briefly in my mind, I wonder if the Philadelphia Eagles will somehow try trying to incorporate this tush-push stuff that they're doing on the offensive side of the ball and flip it over to what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball, because if they do, they're going to be devastating. So what I'm going to do as a special teams coach is I'm going to make sure I got my biggest, my baddest guys in the offensive line blocking for field goals and PAT, and I'm going to put special emphasis on them staying low and aggressive at the same time. Neither one of those happened, and I can tell you from personal experience, Vince, because I never played a game when we scored a point that I wasn't in on field goal and PAT.
Got to keep the best
If you
in.
don't get in there and take the proper footwork and keep your pad level down, you will get blown up, just like Rob Havenstein did twice in the game this past week.
Jackie, there was 3 blocked kicks by 3 different teams in the NFL this past week, all happening in the fourth quarter. Special teams. Now, when you talked about the tush push and having big guys up front, you know, the Eagles on defense, and Vic Fangio has got his 2 guys, 2 number 1 draft picks, Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis. They're both
big guys.
Yeah, coming out of Georgia, all right? Both successive draft picks, number 1s, and they came in with a plan.
Vince, did you see them? Did you see when the camera went across their faces? They were communicating before that. There was the first block.
Before the kick.
Before the kick.
And the second block, too.
And the second block, too, they were saying, it was almost like saying, this is what we're going to do to this guy. And then the second time they said the same thing, and it happened both times where they blew the right tackle up and the guard adjacent to him, knocked him in the backfield on their keisters, and then just jumped. They didn't have to jump that high to block the kids, Vince. They got so much penetration. That's special teams error that's got to be corrected, because everybody's going to try to beat them with that now.
You think it's irrelevant, okay, special teams play like a field goal kick or a punt, a kickoff return. Well, hey, you know, by and large, they got most of it right, because in the first half, they limited Philadelphia on the kickoffs after all those scores. Jackie, they came Joshua Carty with Chase Blackburn, the defensive coordinator, or the special teams coordinator, came up with a knuckleball kick.
Right.
No spin on the ball. You just don't know which way it's going to bounce and how you handle it.
Right.
They couldn't get past the 20-yard line. They were looking good.
They could not field the ball. They couldn't just catch it on the run and take off.
Right.
They had to negotiate, how am I handling this football?
And they had no field position.
And you know what, Vince? That was a specific thing that the special team coaches and the kicker worked on as an advantage for the Rams. There's no doubt in my mind about that. But just like they worked on that, they also need to work on the fact that just because you're 6'8" and you weigh 340 pounds, that you're going to be able to just go through a routine protocol and stop these aggressive defensive linemen from knocking your rear end back and blocking kicks during critical times.
Well, you know, they made some adjustments, the Eagles did, to win this game, Jackie. And, you know, when Trey Johnson the right tackle went down with a neck injury early in the game after that first series, they scored that quarterback direct run.
Yeah, Lane Johnson went down.
And I'm telling you, they came up big with some big plays, Jack. But then they replaced him eventually with Fred Johnson, who did a remarkable job coming in, filling in as a backup, and came in, and they got their running game going. Because Saquon Barkley in the first half, Jackie, with 3 minutes left in the first half, had 5 carries for 5 yards.
Right.
And you can't sustain any drives when you can't run the football.
And in large part, it was because of personnel decision. I think that they got a little bit enamored with size there after Lane Johnson went down. Yeah. They put Matt Pryor in. He's bigger. He's 6'7", 332, but he couldn't block his way out of a wet paper bag. They put Fred Johnson in there, who's a little smaller guy, and he was covering him up real well, maintaining contact at the line of scrimmage, and even actually getting surged and pushing these guys off the ball. So that was one change-up that had to be made that gave Philadelphia a legitimate shot of winning the game.
Yeah. And Michael, in the second half, they started throwing the football, and they've been complaining about the Eagles not being able to throw the ball, but A.J. Brown came up big.
Huge.
And then, at the end of the game, when Philadelphia had a chance to stop the Rams, they threw 4 consecutive balls to Puka Nacua. Where's the double coverage on Puka? And they were actually lucky to win this game because the Rams were in position to kick the winning field goal.
Let me ask you guys a question. I got to ask you guys a question because we fans want to know. The Rams were in control of this game, as you mentioned, 26-7. They go into halftime. What the heck goes on in halftime? What does the coach tell you if you're winning, or in the case of the Eagles, you're losing? Because when they came back out in that second half, it was all Philly from there right on to the end. Start with you, Vince.
Well, what they did is they said to the offensive team to say we're going to condense the running game down to 2 runs. That's it. And we're going to make this happen. Okay, block it this way, and let's get after these guys. And then we're going to start throwing the ball. It's going to open up. That's what they did the second half.
Jackie,
the Rams says, hey, we got to step up. But the Rams had already been in control of the game. They were up by 19 points.
Jackie Slater, what goes on in those
There's a
games?
measurable amount of confidence that comes, Vince, with having the success that the Rams had in the first quarter, and maybe some even questioning, why do we want to change what we've done, what we've been doing? We've been having all of this success. So that question might have entered the minds of some of the players. But the thing that I think was a little bit disheartening for the Rams, especially as the game went on after the first time occurred, was to get that field goal blocked so cleanly like it was, and then to have the impact that they had once they did the second one, and then have a 340-pound man running 20 miles an hour all the way, and nobody can catch him for a touchdown. I mean, those are the kind of things, Vince, little things, special
they go
teams,
a long way.
because you got to believe now. You got to believe after the first field goal was blocked, every man on the Rams team said special teams. After the second field goal was blocked, every man on the Ram team said, what are we doing? Why aren't we prepared? Yeah. Because Sean McVay, to me, is a guy that has his team so down to the point where they're prepared, and they know they are. And they're going to rest on that preparation. And then to have something like this rear his head, and then all of a sudden start questioning, are we prepared? Why aren't we prepared? It can demoralize a team and take some of the competitive vigor from a good football team.
Well,
let me ask you this. Jalen Carter of the Eagles had on, apparently, was seen wearing the Ram star Jared Versus chain. What was that all about?
Well, hey, they must have had a bet before the game. Hey, whoever wins, I'm getting your chain.
That's the only thing I can figure. First, I thought to myself, well, did he go and snatch it off?
Yeah.
Well, if he had snatched it off, he would have broken it, and he wouldn't been able to have it around his neck. So they probably had a bet of some sort, about the game, perhaps, and
maybe A.J. Brown's wearing Devontae Adams'
who
chain
knows?
as well too, because Devontae got away with one in the end zone, and even the announcers mentioned, was that a push? That looked like a push. He got away with one. Yeah, he pushed off. Come on, man, call it fair.
So I think it was a wager. I think it was a lost wager.
Maybe
ask him that.
As long as they're wearing their own underwear, I'm fine with it. That's good. All right, we're going to take a break, come back. Look at some more games here. We got Chargers and we got to talk a little bit about the Chargers coming up against the Broncos. A lot of Bronco fans out there. It's On Point Live. Email us, crntalk.com. It's crntalk.com is our website where you can see the game and get our whole thing in here and give us a little post there. HarmonyCheese.com. Get some cheese while you're at it. We'll be back. Welcome back to On Point Live. I'm Michael Horn. You fans don't know, but on game day, these gentlemen, the stars of our show, Vince Ferragamo and Jackie Slater, our producer, Corey Marino, myself, we get together and we're texting like fiends, going back and forth. And Jackie's just throwing stuff out there. So is Vince. It's quite the Sunday for you. It happens Thursday night. It happens whenever there's a game. Yeah. So let's take another game and see how it goes. By the way, our sponsor is HarmonyCheese.com, and our email is onpoint@crntalk.com. So you get into it. Throw some questions at us. onpoint@crntalk.com. Jackie, let's start with you. Chargers, big comeback over the Broncos. Broncos are looking good this year, but they're now 1-3. The Chargers are undefeated with their 23-20 win.
Absolutely right. And I got a question. I got to ask Vince right away, because when I look at the Chargers, I see they've had injuries in their offensive line. They put a second-year young guy over there at the blind side. They got the guy that was a guard playing here, a guy that was a tackle. I mean, they're just doing what it takes to have success in their offensive line. But this is the thing that I don't understand. It's not like they're lighting up the scoreboard with everything that they're doing, everything that Justin Herbert is doing. But consistently, Haurbaugh will come out and say that he has the best quarterback in all of pro football. Vince, what are some of the things? Now, I know some of the things, but what are some of those things that make this guy so special?
You know what? My roommate in college was Herman Edwards at Cal Berkeley, Jack. You know what he used to say when he was coaching with the Jets?
What's that?
You play the game to win the game. You play to win the game.
Play to win the game.
And That's all Harbaugh is about. Jim Harbaugh with the Chargers. He's built his team around his offensive line and defensive line. He needs to have the structure up front. He's got one of the great quarterbacks in the NFL, and Justin Herbert. We've always mentioned he's top 5 quarterbacks.
Harbaugh says he's the best.
Okay, he and Jackie, that's because of the totality experience that this guy has. He not only is gifted physically, he's gifted mentally. He's got a great approach. He does the right things. He's a great leader. He knows how to take his team from behind to take the field down and understands the game. Hey, 2 minutes, this is where I have to shine. That's what he did in this game. And he's playing against Sean Payton and the Broncos, who were undefeated. They were 2-0. So
a pretty good team putting
pretty
pressure
good
on the quarterback, too.
The top defense in the league, okay? And he was able to move the ball down the field to score the tying touchdown when he needed to do it late in the game. And then he brought his team back to get the winning field goal at the end of the game. So, Jackie, he's got second in the NFL in passing touchdowns. Okay, he's second in the league in interceptions, only 1 interception. He's got 6 yards per attempt passing the football, and 40% of pressure. He's completing the ball.
So he's getting
getting pressured 40% of the time, and he still finds a way to win.
And you know, Vince, I don't know how you feel. Keenan Allen is a veteran wide receiver.
Oh, yes.
McConkey is a good underneath route runner, getting in those holes and everything. But it's not like he has blazing talent that can run and, you know, supreme talent that he's throwing the ball to.
No, there's not really a named running back that you can really call out. But, Jackie, they are balancing. They had over 100 yards rushing. That's what makes them effective, okay? And now he's got Quentin Johnson as his deep threat. You mentioned Keenan Allen coming back to this team. Quality receiver. I mean, they have a connection. They have chemistry between those two guys. And then Lad McConkey has been showing up big for a little guy out there. So little guys can play in this league too,
absolutely.
Jackie. Not up front, but they can play outside, all right?
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, I mean, this guy, and then, Jackie, if they're all covered, guess what? He'll take
off and run.
Now, he won't look to run first.
Yes,
that's a great
shots.
quarterback.
He takes some shots.
Yes.
Because he is a big target, you know.
He is. He's an upright runner. But, Jackie, he is a passer first. And to be a great quarterback in the NFL, not in college, you have to be able to throw from the pocket. That's what's made Lamar Jackson a premier, one of the best of all. Because in one of the toughest offenses to stop. Because now he throws from the pocket. His last resort is run. Okay.
All right, we got to play a little game here, if we would, please, for you. Time now to play Who is the Better Haurbaugh? And we'll start with Jackie Slater. What do you think?
Hey, man, well, you
which
know what?
brother?
Which
brother?
The Haurbaugh there in Baltimore built his career, started his career as a special teams guy. And that is when you think about special teams, it involves a blend of offensive players and defensive players into one unit to be successful. And he had a great deal of success of blending those both sides of the ball and having successful units. Well, that's one of the key, in my opinion, one of the key ingredients that a good head coach has to have, and that's the ability to incorporate the strengths and weaknesses of his team so that all of the weaknesses are covered up and all of the strengths are pronounced. And that's what Haurbaugh has done a fantastic job with. Offense, defense, and special teams.
Vince Ferragamo.
When I look, wait a minute, and when I look at his brother, I don't think he's had to have the responsibility that his big brother has had.
Well, fundamentally, Jackie, they are sound, and they are very well informed about how to win football games. Okay, so fundamentally strong with offense and defense, especially line play. Okay, but Jim Haurbaugh, you travel well, you travel with defense. He's traveled all around college football. He's been with the 49ers, went to a Super Bowl. Now he's back in the NFL after a stint with the Michigan Wolverines, okay, winning a national championship. Now he's back winning again with the Chargers. And the reason why he took the Charger job, because number one, he had the quarterback he knew he can work with. So the whole thing is back to square one and fundamentally strong. That's why he's so good.
All right, we'll see if the Broncos can bounce back. They had 9 first downs last week, allowed 29 to the Chargers. Let's move
They'll bounce back.
Yeah, let's talk to the Chiefs against the Giants. Give me a little thought about this one here. What's going on?
Sunday night game, Jackie. It was a good game, too.
It really was a good game. And one of the things that I always appreciate about a good quarterback is to see them operate when things aren't clicking. To see them make plays when things aren't going well, to see them incorporate their key players when they've been taken away from them. And that's one of the things that I like about Patrick Ewing. You can say what you want about the lack of production that we're seeing right now, but there's a lot going on in Kansas City, Vince, that tells you that this is a good team. For example, look at the relationship with Andy Reid and
Travis
Kelce, his tight end. How often have you and I seen a chest bump, and not a friendly chest bump, between a head coach and one of his key players on the sideline? They have a relationship where they understand what they're expecting of one another, and when those expectations aren't handled, they can do that and get away with it. Some other guy who we might have a fisticuffs going on. But those are the little things that you look at on great teams, and you know that it makes a difference.
But
That's why they're great.
Yes. Vince, please. There was a chest bump there with Andy Reid and Travis Kelce. It didn't look like it was friendly. It looked like it was a wake up here. Are you asleep?
Right. It wasn't something in jubilation because they weren't having a good game to that point, but it was a wake-up call for Travis Kelce. Okay, this has happened before. This is not the first time. And I think this is the relationship, like Jackie said, between coach and player. But they are friends off the field. So, hey, if Jackie and Harry, we had a fight, hey, we're friends when we leave. So, but that's what happens. And I think, that really got the ball rolling for the Chiefs. It was a wake-up call. It got Patrick Mahomes. And Patrick Mahomes is a competitor.
Everybody saw that.
Yeah, everybody saw it as a wake-up. So not only for those two guys, let's get going, guys. This is enough. We're 0-2. We got to come back and start winning. And, Tyquan Thornton came up big. And it was funny, the one pass that he did catch down the field, it was intended for Hollywood Brown, and he slipped and fell on the play. And Tyquan caught the ball, but he came away with the leading receiver. And now they're getting a connection between quarterback. And then, Travis Kelce stepping up. When they get Worthy back, when they get Rice back in the lineup, they're going to be going. But it starts up front.
Yeah, it starts up front.
They were starting to get some better production running the football with Pacheco. And so I think that's important. So they got to get their running game going just to marry what they're doing in the passing game.
All right. Well, it started up front, went to the middle, went to the back, and came back around to the front a couple of times. Talk to me about the Colts-Titans recap. 41-20 Colts. Vince.
Oh, well, let me tell you something. They're playing in all areas. Okay, they're the only team, I think, that has gone with no one punt in 3 games.
Right.
I think that's right. So the Colts are playing with another quarterback, Daniel Jones, who came out of the quarterback room with O'Connell in Minnesota. So did Sam Darnold. He's playing for another team now, doing great in Seattle.
Right.
Okay, now Daniel Jones is doing great. Carson Wentz has come in. He's been backing up J.J. McCarthy. He's the starting quarterback now in Minnesota. He's doing well. So it tells you how important coaching is with these guys. And hey, they got the running game going. Daniel Jones they haven't turned the ball over. They're 3-0. They're one of 3 teams that haven't turned the ball over. Them, Tampa Bay, and the Bills. So, come on. These guys are and then you got Shane Steichen, who's an offensive genius over there. He took the Philadelphia Eagles to win a Super Bowl offensive coordinating, Jack. He's making a difference with Daniel Jones.
If I were to think of a special niche that you could have in the National Football League and become a very, very wealthy person, it would be the job that Kevin O'Connell has done with all of these different guys.
Quarterback whisperer.
This guy is legitimately a quarterback whisperer. Everyone that he has influenced has played good football, better football, and their best football. They just keep improving, and you can see that with every single thing that they do. And it's got to be because of what they're being taught by Kevin.
We'll talk about Baker Mayfield coming up too, because Liam Cohen, what even difference he made with him.
Absolutely.
Got to be On Point Live with Vince Ferragamo and Jackie Slater. Subscribe to us on YouTube with our YouTube channel, On Point Live with Vince and Jackie. Our Instagram, on.point.live. Our sponsor, harmonycheese.com. And email us questions, comments, whatever you like. onpoint@crntalk.com. That's onpoint@crntalk.com. Welcome back to On Point Live. I'm Michael Horn with Jackie Slater, Vince Ferragamo, recapping last week's highlights here on the schedule. Don't forget to email us at onpoint@crntalk.com. Before we leave this whole discussion of our last segment over there, it's time to play Who's the Better Coach, Kevin O'Connell or the Haurbaugh boys? What do you think, Jackie?
Well, listen, I can weigh in on that one a lot of different ways. Each one of those both those Haurbaugh boys are special, Vince, in their own unique ways. And Kevin O'Connell, I mean, when you think about the money that they're paying Vince's position, quarterback that he played, you better have a quarterback whisperer. And I think Kevin O'Connell, I would have to go with him over both those guys.
Well, they're all quality coaches, Michael. They've had great success. I mean, Kevin O'Connell with quarterbacks, John Haurbaugh going to Super Bowls, Jim Haurbaugh, the success he's had, college and with the pros. I mean, it's tough. It's almost like trying to name who's the best quarterback in the league right now because they're all good coaches.
And they bring a lot of value.
Yeah,
unique value.
The only undefeated teams here through Week 3, Buffalo Bills, Indianapolis Colts, the Los Angeles Chargers, the Philadelphia Eagles, Tampa Bay Bucks, San Francisco 49ers. Let's look at this Colts-Titans game, and we'll start with you, Vince Ferragamo. 41-20, come on.
The Colts, Titans. Yeah, again, Daniel Jones, I think a lot of credit has to go to him, Michael, because Shane Steichen, what he's done, and he's got Buckner playing great on defense, DeForest Buckner. You know, the nice thing about him, Jackie, is he had a high IQ. He has a high IQ.
And Kevin O'Connell as his coach in Minnesota.
Absolutely. Don't forget about that part. And Kevin O'Connell worked directly with Daniel Jones when Daniel Jones was basically thrown to the trash heap.
Right.
They've
only had to punt the ball once, Jackie, in 3 games.
Absolutely.
They're unstoppable on offense.
It amazes me, Vince. You can speak to this better than me, but the thought process that a quarterback has to have to take him from the start of a game with the anticipated competition through different levels of that game, where you find yourself during that game and how to manage that to victory. It's just an immense amount of mental stuff that you guys have to deal with.
No turnovers, Jackie.
No turnovers.
That's how you win the game. And then how about Jonathan Taylor, the running back? He's back to his old self again. Yeah. He's running a storm. I mean, and they got one of the best offensive guards in football, so they can play. They can play. They're a tough team.
No doubt about that.
Tampa Bay Bucks, New York Jets. That was a hard-fought 29-27 win for the Bucks. Jackie.
You know, I asked Vince the question before we were on our way in. I said, Vince, why is Baker Mayfield not playing for the Rams? And I think Vince said, well, they can't pay him. Both these guys like number one money, and Baker Mayfield wasn't going to stay because he sees himself a number one. But, I mean, Baker Mayfield, when he came to the Rams, he was there 2 weeks, put him in a ball game, and he was competing like he had been there all year long.
Right.
The thing that I like personally about Baker Mayfield is, regardless of his size, Vince, he wasn't a big, good-looking guy like you, but regardless of his size, this guy won the Heisman Trophy. There's something on the inside of guys like Baker Mayfield that says, I'm a winner, and I'm going to prove it to you. So I love Baker Mayfield. I kind of wish he were around. He's a fun guy to be around, it seems.
Jackie, he's so competitive. And you don't need any more motivation. But what motivated him even more in this game against the Jets was Steve Wilks, which was the interim coach in Carolina who cut him at the end of the season. So now he's the defensive coordinator for the Jets, and he goes, I want to show this guy what I got. And you know what, Jackie?
He did.
Not only was he great the drive before the last drive to set up his team to win that game, they came back with a blocked kick to go ahead. The last drive, he was sensational.
Yes.
His passes were right on the money, and they were with authority.
Yes.
And he had no quit in him. And that's the great thing about a guy like that, Michael. I mean, they just compete to the end. That's the guy you want.
I would like to have seen Baker walk past him and look at him after that game.
Oh, God. Hey, man. Hey, you missed out. You missed
missed
the boat.
out.
You missed the boat.
You don't know what you're doing.
Oh, man. And they're undefeated. Tampa Bay, watch out.
Yes, they are.
I mean,
in large part because of Baker Mayfield.
Yeah,
we'll see
Mike
what
Evans
happens
hurt,
as we
but
move
we'll
in.
see
How it goes on this week over there. New York, of course, hurting because both their teams lost. Let's take a look and take a look at another game here. How about
the Monday night game, Michael?
Yeah, the Lions.
The Detroit Lions and the Ravens.
Against the Ravens. That was another hard-fought game. Could have gone either way. What's happening to the Ravens?
I don't know what's happening. I can tell you what happened to the Ravens. I can tell you exactly what happened to the Ravens.
How many sacks?
First of all, they sacked Lamar seven times. So they're losing. They're losing on the defensive side of the ball at the line of scrimmage, and on the offensive side of the ball, they're losing at the line of scrimmage. Listen, I watched that game closely. And I'm telling you, the best offensive line in all of pro football right now is right there in Detroit. Taylor Decker at left tackle, Penei Sewell at right tackle, especially him, the left guard, Mahogany, Frank Ragnow, and Glasgow. These guys are excellent. And one of the things, Vince, that they did, and it's the worst thing that a linebacker can do. The linebackers just stood there while the two offensive linemen got perfect shoulder fits on those down linemen, and they walked them off the ball right into the lap of those linebackers. You have to have a measurable amount of mental discipline to stay on that down guy that you're doubling before you go climb into a linebacker, and they did it time after time after time again. And if you go back and look, I'm going to pat myself on the back a little bit here, Vince, but if you go back and look at some of the games when Eric Dickerson was having his very best games, you'll see consistently Dennis Hare and Doug Smith, walking these guys, these big guys, to the laps of these linebackers. It's just hard to stop a running game when the offensive lineman is playing as well as these guys are in Detroit.
Well, you said it, Jackie. They're pass protecting, they're run blocking. I mean, look at this trade that they got Jared Goff from Matt Stafford. They got 2 first-round picks plus Jared Goff, who in the last 3 or 4 years, Jackie, has been almost at the top of the list in every category. Okay, I don't want to go through all the lists, okay, but they got Jamar Gibbs.
You know how I feel about Jared Goff.
Yeah, you always said that. Jamar Gibbs and Sam Laporta, fantastic players. Who came up big in this game? Sam Laporta on third down on those long drives, and they consumed the clock. Now, I hate to say this next thing, Jackie.
18-play, 10-minute drives, Vince. That just doesn't happen in today's NFL.
I have to say this.
Oh, boy.
Don't tell my wife, okay, that I was wrong. Okay, Jackie, but I messed up a little bit on this offensive coordinator for the Lions, okay? Because I've seen now, looking at his background, where he's coming from, and he was very clever in approach. They turned the entire playbook upside down for this game, Jackie, with trick plays, A-speed option.
How about that?
Flea flickers. I mean, they couldn't stop him. Plus, you saw what Amon St. Brown could do.
Tough.
He could come in there and block like crazy.
He's a tough
you
little
throw
guy.
the ball to this guy.
Is.
He has a no quit attitude, Jack, and the toughest receiver in football. And Jared Goff knows it. And he went to him on the fourth down plays. And, this coach is going to go for it on fourth down. And they converted almost every time. It's just amazing, Mike, because, they beat a good team in the Ravens. The Ravens are no slouch.
Time now to play. Yes, this game show has gone 3 weeks in a row. It's time now to play. Who got the better end of the Matthew Stafford, Jared Goff trade?
Well, we were talking about that, Mike. We were talking about that earlier. And I think the consensus is that it's going to take both these guys retiring and then us looking back. But I can tell you right now, if I'm the owner of the Los Angeles Rams in SoFi Stadium and I can give up 2 first-round picks and a first overall pick in Jared Goff to get Matthew Stafford, and he comes to L.A. and wins a Super Bowl and packs SoFi Stadium, I'm feeling pretty good about that if I'm the owner of the Rams or it had anything to do with that trade. But as this time goes on and as we see Matthew Stafford with his back and having some issues, and it wasn't like he was on the money this past game, because he had some errant throws that were not normally what we see.
Age-related, I think, a little bit.
Stuff. And then we look at Jared Goff, now let's see if he wins the Super Bowl, because it could end up being like, why did they give up so much?
Well,
for that first Super Bowl so far.
Well, the Rams got their money's worth with Matt Stafford.
They did.
At the time, he was at the top of the list. I mean, Jack, he's a quality quarterback, obviously.
Yeah,
obviously. What
obviously.
he's gone through, he's a great quarterback. But let's look at Jared Goff's stats this year so far. Completion percentage, first, almost 78% completion. Passer rating, second at 120 QBR. Okay, passing touchdown, second with 7. And passer rating, when pressured, second with 90.4. I mean, the guy's performing. He's getting better and better. He's improved, and he's still young enough. He's got a future ahead of him.
He got another 9 or 10 years.
Uh-oh, watch out.
He got another 9 or 10 years. And look, and Vince, this offensive line right here, let's not kid ourselves. Yeah. Quarterbacks, they don't do so well when they get in the rear end blistered every time you look around. 100%. But these guys, Penei Sewell is the best right tackle, arguably the best tackle in all of pro football. There's no doubt in my mind about that.
So Detroit got Jared Goff, Jamar Gibbs, Sam Laporte. To the Rams got Matthew Stafford, and don't forget a chiropractor. So that was very okay. So let's move along now.
I don't know about the chiropractor.
Good point, Michael.
I don't know about the chiropractor.
Minnesota Vikings. As you like your Kevin O'Connell, let's go to this one real quick. Over the Bengals, who are hurting it for quarterback. They're 48-10.
Yeah, there was no question in that game. I think Minnesota, they took control from start to finish, and they leveled their opponent.
And Vince, who's playing quarterback for Minnesota?
Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz under O'Connell. Okay, Jackie,
I can remember
the quarterback whisperer.
I can remember just like it was yesterday when all of the conversation prior to the draft was, who are you going to take, Jared Goff or Carson Wentz? And I remember going down to here, Irvine, and I was training some young offensive tackles and guards that were coming into the draft that year. And I remember Kevin O'Connell standing there talking to Carson Wentz and Jared Goff, and they were like standing there with their mouths wide open, listening to every word. And then to come fast forward to now and to see these guys, how much better they play under Kevin O'Connell's tutelage. It's just a wonderful thing to see.
Name, too, on defense, Jackie, that really stood out was Isaiah Rodgers. Okay, he's from University of Massachusetts. Okay, he number 2. He came up big with some intercept pick sixes.
He did.
Oh, man, his fumble recovery, he did everything. Forced fumbles, forced interception. Come on. He had a great game.
He did.
Hey, how about the Panthers? 30-0 over Atlanta.
A surprise. That was a surprise game.
Really?
I thought Atlanta with Michael Penix was do something, but Byron Young,
that's what I thought.
He stood out.
Yes, he certainly did. Michael Penix,
that's why you have to be prepared. Doesn't matter in the NFL.
Commanders 41, Raiders 24. Pete Carroll, is he going to make it?
Without Jaden Daniels, Marcus Mariota did it for the Commanders.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a quality team. I don't know what's going on with the Raiders.
I was a little bit surprised that Marcus Mariota, because he has
a backup quarterback.
Yeah, and Vince, it's not as if Mariota, we know he's talented, but it's not as if he's had a sustained period of time where he's been successful as an NFL quarterback.
He hasn't played in a while.
He hasn't played in a while.
He looked like he's been playing every day.
It's a testament to the coaching staff. There's no doubt about it. And maybe the.
Did you see his coach on the sideline get whacked?
Yes.
The quarterback was running out of bounds.
Blood is running out. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff
that's a tough dude. And he got up.
Yes,
he got up from that.
Kept coaching. Blood running all over the place. That was kind of cool to see.
All right, we got the Cleveland Browns, Green Bay Packers. You played in Green Bay. Browns beat them 13-10.
Oh, man. Myles Garrett, they got after him. And then, Flacco was consistent. But the Packers just laid an egg. They played down in this game. I don't know Jordan Love. He's much better quarterback than that. They gotta spark it up. They can't walk into a different stadium and not win. They got to win everywhere you go.
Jackie, quickly. Bears,
I just can't believe that
the Bears, Jackie. What about
Vince Ferragamo had the unmitigated gall to say that the Cleveland Browns should trade Myles Garrett to the 49ers.
The 49ers need help, and Bosa's out for the season. They got a dominant. Without a dominant player, Michael, they're going nowhere.
They can't have two.
I don't care.
$80 million.
Give away the city. You got to get him.
Time out here. We'll take a break. Come back with a wrap-up here on Point Live. HarmonyCheese.com. Vince Ferragamo, Jackie Slater. Don't forget to email us onpoint@crntalk.com. This is On Point Live. Back on Point Live, I'm Michael Horn with Vince Ferragamo and Jackie Slater. Real quick, guys, the Bears got a win, 31 over the Cowboys, 14. Vince.
Convincingly, Jackie, Caleb Williams was more relaxed in this game. I think Ben Johnson had a talk with him and says, look, let's slow this thing down. You can see it. Deliver the ball. Nice passes. He did it all. He came up with a nearly perfect QBR rate, 143. 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Played a near-perfect game.
There was no way in my mind that I could even imagine the Bears beating the Dallas Cowboys.
And all right.
I just couldn't imagine.
This week's picks, Minnesota at Pittsburgh. Jackie.
I'm going to have to go with the Minnesota Vikings.
I got Pittsburgh. I got
Pittsburgh.
Yep.
New Orleans at Buffalo Bills. Vince.
Oh, Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo here, too.
I got Buffalo. Tennessee at Houston. I got Houston.
I got Houston.
I have the Texans.
Cleveland at the Detroit Lions. Jackie.
I'm going with Detroit.
After they played last week, the Lions.
That's it. All right, Washington at Atlanta. Vince.
Commanders. I think Jaden Daniels will be back, but Mariota's looking good. So
doesn't matter who's playing quarterback. They're going to beat Atlanta.
Yeah.
Okay, Eagles at Tampa Bay. Jackie.
I'm going to have to go with Tampa here. I'm feeling Baker Mayfield.
You're not going with the tush push.
I'm feeling Baker Mayfield all the way.
I'm tush pushing it.
Little big man.
Oh, you are me too, Michael, because Jalen Hurts has been playing.
Big man's back.
Yeah.
Carolina Panthers at the New England Patriots. Vince.
I'm going to take the Patriots to get off the snide there and get in the win column.
I'm going with the Carolina Panthers.
I'm with you, Jackie. Chargers at the New York Giants. Vince.
I got to go with the Chargers.
LA
Giants are having their problems.
Same here, LA Chargers.
Until they play Jackson Dart, it might be different.
Jacksonville Jaguars at the San Francisco 49ers. Jackie.
Niners. I'm going with the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, 49ers at home. I think Brock Purdy will probably be back.
I'm going Jacksonville. Indianapolis at the Rams.
I'm going with the L.A. Rams. Sean McVay will bounce back. He will bounce back.
Well, I hate to say this, but I got to go with the undefeated team. I mean, Shane Steichen's team, they're lights out.
Quickly,
they don't turn the ball over.
Chicago Bears at the Raiders.
Chicago.
Bears.
Chicago. Baltimore at Kansas City.
Baltimore.
Chiefs.
Baltimore.
I'm going with the Chiefs. Come on, man.
Green Bay at Dallas.
I'm going with the Packers.
Me too,
Packers. Yep, me too. New York at Miami.
Dolphins.
Cincinnati Bengals at the Denver Broncos.
Can't go with Bengals without Burrow.
Can't go with them.
I'm going with
Denver Broncos. All right. Don't forget to check out HarmonyCheese.com. It's delicious. Gentlemen, what do we always say?
Stay on point.